All right, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Now, guys, I want to just give you all a recap about this game. So, the Chicago Sky have defeated the Las Vegas Aces. The score is 93-85. Now, this is a score that I was not expecting. I was expecting the Las Vegas Aces to beat the Chicago Sky. I thought it was going to be a close to a 10-point game, and I thought they were going to, they're at home. I thought, hey, the Las Vegas Aces for the last game before break, they're about to show up and show out. They're going to have a good game. The Chicago Sky are going to try, but they're not going to be good enough to beat the Las Vegas Aces. That's what I thought coming into this game. However, we saw what I would say is one of the best games from the Chicago Sky of the entire season so far. 93 points the Chicago Sky scored on the Las Vegas Aces. Las Vegas Aces were held to 85 points. This is a Las Vegas Aces team that is two-time back-to-back WNBA champs. This Las Vegas Aces. This is an Aces team that has a stacked roster. They literally have 4 Olympians on their team. 4. They are actually, no, they have 5 Olympians on their team. You have Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson for Team USA. You have Megan Gustafson for Spain. You have a lot of talent on your squad. But the Chicago Sky come into this game and they play one of the best offenses I've seen all season. This is the biggest win of the season for the Chicago Sky. Great momentum win. So let's kind of talk about it. Let's kind of set the scene of what actually happened. What actually happened to ensure that that the Chicago Sky defeated the Las Vegas Aces? Well, it started from the beginning. And for me, it actually kind of started on the first play. It started on the first play when tip-off happens and the Chicago Sky immediately passed the ball inside to Camila Cardoso for a score. And to me, that really did set the tone that the Chicago Sky was not going to be an outside first team today. They were going to start in the post. And that's what they did. They started in the post, got Camila Cardoso a score early. Now, I wish they would have done more of this as the game continued on, but more on that in just a hot sec. Camila Cardoso scores an easy layup. Then Asia Wilson comes back down, scores. But then here's where it really gets started. After you've shown that, yes, we want to go in the post, now let Kennedy Carter start to work. And Kennedy Carter started to work. This girl, she goes on a by herself. She scores a boatload of points in that first quarter, and in that second, and in that third. Ultimately, Kennedy Carter finishes this game with a season high 34 points. She's at 34 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, and she was shooting fair. Like her shooting percentage was pretty decent. She shot 14 of 24 from the field. She was so dominant in this game, and the thing I loved about Kennedy Carter is Kennedy Carter stays in her bag. Kennedy Carter is not a 3-point shooter necessarily. She can shoot 3-pointers sometimes, but she's not necessarily a 3-point shooter. She is a player who gets downhill. She gets in the paint. She works that mid-range game. She is a player who gets fouled and can get to the free throw line and make some shots. She is clutch. All right. She is a magician when she has the basketball. It's kind of like when I watch Kennedy Carter, sometimes I think of not the exact same player, but I think of Allen Iverson. I really do. I think of Allen Iverson. I think of a player who is small but has confidence for days and has the skill set, both in the dribbling capabilities and in the sort of showtime capabilities of making stuff happen. Kennedy Carter was flat out phenomenal today. She dominated in that first half. Third quarter kind of went away a little bit. In that fourth quarter, she came back alive and made some and really did put the team on her back. There was a period of time when the Las Vegas Aces were coming back. They were really coming back in that third quarter. They go on a massive run, and it's a close game. You start the fourth quarter, score 69 Chicago, 63 Las Vegas. And then Las Vegas started to eat that lead away. They started to eat that lead away. They ended up leading by, I believe, 1 point in that fourth quarter. And then we started to see Chennedy Carter go back to doing her thing. Chennedy Carter, she just continues to there was a period of time where she scored six straight points for the Chicago Sky. She scored 6 straight points, and she put the team on her back. She put the team on her back, and she made it happen. The game was very tight, and it looked like the Las Vegas Aces was about to pull out the win at the end of the game. But Chennedy Carter said, no. I'm about to show up and show out because I'm an all-star. Even if I'm not an all-star, even if I'm technically not an all-star, I'm playing like an all-star. And I want y'all to know that. She played absolutely fan-freaking-tastic in this game. She put the team on her back and let everybody know that Chennedy Carter's here. She is here, and y'all, Jeff Pagliacca, Teresa Weatherspoon, everybody else that's related to the Chicago Sky, they need to be having conversations with Chennedy Carter's agent right now, saying, what do you need from us to re-sign with us next year? What do you need? Give Chennedy Carter whatever she wants, because she has been absolutely phenomenal this season for the Chicago Sky and is going to be a player that the Chicago Sky is going to need in the future to have success. So yeah, Chennedy Carter was fan-freaking-tastic. Absolutely. And she really was the end-all be-all for the Chicago Sky. Yes, they do have role players that make some stuff happen as well, but Chennedy Carter really was the star of the show. Now, Marina Mabrey, I thought she played pretty well. She hit some three-pointers early on in this game. She finished with 15 points in this one, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, which is kind of cool for her. Lindsey Allen, again, Lindsey Allen is a player who is just a fan-freaking-tastic point guard for the Chicago Sky. Yes, the Chicago Sky do need to level up in terms of that point guard position next year. But this year, Lindsey Allen is the best we got, and she is doing her thing. Absolutely doing her thing. She had 6 points in this game. So yeah, not that impressive in terms of total points, but it's the way she facilitates the game. It's the way she passes, she gets the ball around, gets players involved that makes a difference. She had 6 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, and she barely turned over the ball. She only had 1 turnover in this game. Camila Cardoso, yes, as I said earlier, she got going early with a score right off tip, but they don't go to her as much in this game. Ultimately, Camila finishes this game with 6 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. I thought she was impactful for the opportunities she got. She was 2 of 4 from the field. There was a lot of times where, I'm going to talk more about this in a sec, but there's a lot of times where the Las Vegas Aces, they were packing the paint, making it pretty difficult to get the ball in the paint. And also, there were a lot of times where Camila Cardoso was actually on the 3-point line. It did loosen up the paint for cuts and whatnot for the Sky. But in the future, I do want to see more opportunities for Camila Cardoso getting the ball early and having her either try to score on her own or get the kick out to a guard for easy shot. For Angel Reese, she played well. I thought she played well in this game. She had 13 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Now, guys, if you all just look at the box score and you see, oh, she was 4 of 10 from the field, that's not that good for a post player. Oh, she only had 13 points. She only had 10 rebounds. Yes, that is true. But guys, the impact that Angel Reese had in this game was huge. It was absolutely huge. She is such an impactful player, regardless of if she's scoring or not, because there was a bunch of times where Angel was getting doubled. She was getting tripled in this game. She was getting, sometimes she was calling for the ball. She was getting sandwiched between 2 different Aces players. It was on the scouting report. It was on the scouting report to make sure that Angel does not cook in this game. And yes, Angel Reese is not the most efficient post player. She's not, but she can be dominant on the offensive glass. She didn't get that many offensive rebounds. She only had 2 offensive rebounds in this game. they prevented her from scoring a lot. And guys, Angel Reese is an Energizer Bunny. She has effort for days. And even though she didn't get a ton of points in this game, even though she missed some shots, though she got a good amount of those shots blocked by A'ja Wilson, Angel was active, very, very active. She was both active on the offensive end and the defensive end. And guys, it says a lot when the opposing team is double and triple teaming you. It says a lot. It says a whole lot. Because yes, when that happens, yes, it prevents Angel from getting the ball, but it also allows mismatches. It allows mismatches for the other Sky players to make some stuff happen. Though in the future, I would love to see Angel develop more of a jump shot, so that way, they're not likely as, they don't get on her as much when she's in the paint because she can step out and shoot. That's something she has to develop. And the Chicago Sky as a whole has to develop more shooters because it's no way that the Aces should be able to comfortably double, triple team Angel without getting cooked by somebody else. Now, guys, Angel Reese had a game high of a efficiency rating of 26. Her plus minus was 26. That means that when she was on the court, the Chicago Sky were cooking. Absolutely cooking. And when she was on the bench, we struggled. So A'ja was phenomenal. But Angel Reese did her thing in this game, even though she doesn't necessarily have the points to show for it. I thought Michaela Onyenwere came in the game and gave some really, really good minutes, huge minutes. And Isabel Harrison had some huge minutes in this game as well. Izzy finished with 8 points, 6 rebounds. Izzy she's great. She really is. She's a great player for this team to come off the bench and give some good minutes for either Angel or Camilla. She has a shot. She can get a jumper off. And I just think overall she played well in this one. Michaela Onyenwere again also played really well in this game. She's just great, and I'm enjoying the last several games I've seen from Michaela Onyenwere because she's just in her bag. She was 3 of 3 for today, 9 points. She does exactly what she needs to do on the court. Not making much mistakes. Just a really, really good role player for the Chicago Sky this season. For Dana Evans, Dana was terrible in this game. She was absolutely atrocious in this game. She had 3 turnovers, all 3 steals by, I believe all 3 were by Sydney Colson, or at least 2 of them were for sure by Sydney Colson. Dana Evans played terrible. She really did. And, it is what it is. But yeah, that's definitely something that she has to work on in terms of being effective, not just in terms of scoring, but also passing the ball as well. She finishes the game with 2 points. Now, guys, I do want to talk about the Las Vegas Aces because I think there were some really good positives for the Las Vegas Aces and then some terrible negatives. One thing that is a horrible negative is the fact that we saw Kate Martin go down. Kate Martin played 2 minutes in this game, and she went down with a lower leg injury. She would return to she would get carried off the court. She would return to the bench, but not return to the game. She was ruled out for the rest of the game. It's a lower leg injury. We don't exactly know what it was. She was fouled, and then went down. It was a blocking foul. She had the ball. It was a blocking foul. She went down, but the actual contact to her lower leg that was injured, that was no contact. She was fouled on the play, but like the injury itself was like a no contact type of play, which never is good. Whenever you see a player go down and like nothing, there was nothing there that sort of impacted that injury, that lets you know that it's really bad. So absolutely, please send your prayers up for Kate Martin. No idea what exactly the injury is, but I pray that she is able to recover, and it's not a season-ending injury because it's terrible luck for her because she really has been making some stuff happen. She really has been. But yeah, so I think it's tough. I think it's tough for Kate Martin to be out. So that was a huge loss for the Las Vegas Aces. We saw, their rotations for the Las Vegas Aces. It was kind of messed up for the rest of the game. It's kind of messed up because Kate Martin does get a lot of minutes, and because she was injured, couldn't really rely on her as much, or you couldn't rely on her at all because she was on the bench. Guys, I want to get to y'all super chats real quick. Midnight. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says the Sky have to find replacements for Dana Evans and Diamond Shields after the break. Kennedy, it's with a C, not a K. Kennedy, Marina Mabry, Lindsay Allen play a lot of minutes to keep the Sky in the game. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the Sky does in terms of maybe getting someone off of waivers, a trade. We'll see. We will absolutely see. Banji, thanks so much for the super chat. Says Dana turned the ball over twice in a row, and all I can say is she may be playing overseas in Wakanda after the break. Banji, I understand the sentiment you're trying to go for, but basically all players in the WNBA play overseas after the break. Dana Evans actually plays in Turkey. She plays for a team called Beşiktaş. Beşiktaş is a team that plays in the KB. No, do they play in the KBS? I can't remember actually if they play in the KBSL or the TKBSL. But anyway, she plays in Turkey. She's actually really, really good. I think the problem with Dana Evans is that for this season, she's confused as to what role she plays. Before, she used to be a player who, she came in as a point guard, but her role was really just to shoot and play defense. Now, I think she's thinking too much about passing, and it's messing her up real bad. And she got to figure it out because she's playing terrible. She's playing absolutely terrible. All right, let's continue on with the Las Vegas Aces. Now, guys, after we saw Kate Martin go down, it didn't look good for the Las Vegas Aces. They were getting killed at the time by the Chicago Sky. At one point, the Chicago Sky had a 19-point lead against the Las Vegas Aces. They were able to cut that down. And that was heavily due to the fact that they have a player called A'ja Wilson on their squad. Y'all, A'ja Wilson was phenomenal today. She always is. That's just what she does. She had 28 points in this game, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 steals. She did her thing. And guys, partially, I think partially the reason why she was playing as well as she was playing is because the fact that we saw Usher in the building. Usher was there, y'all. If you know anything about A'ja Wilson, she is a huge Usher fan. She met she asked Usher to come to a game at one of his concerts, and he agreed, and he was there at the game. We also saw Floyd Money Mayweather at the game as well. Lots of celebrities were there, but I think A'ja had a really good game because Usher was in the building. But it wasn't good enough because her team still ended up losing. So again, A'ja Wilson absolutely did her thing, but she did not have enough help at all. She did not have enough help. When we look at the starters for the Las Vegas Aces, usually they are the absolute dominant ones, right? Chelsea Gray, usually, she's the point guard, right? She's throwing passes like crazy. She's shooting the ball. Kelsey Plum usually is a really good shooter. Jackie Young, same thing. But today, no. It was basically A'ja Wilson, Jackie Young, and Tiffany Hayes and Sydney Colson. That really was those were the key players in today's game for the Las Vegas Aces. A'ja, Jackie, Tiffany, and Sydney. Those are the key players. Kelsey Plum was straight up horrible today. Kelsey and Dana had terrible games today. I don't know what was going on with both of them. They were bad. Kelsey Plum airballed several shots. The last 3-point shot that she attempted at the end of the game, she hit the side of the basket, the side of the backboard. She was atrocious. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened at all, but she was bad. Kelsey Plum normally does not play that bad. Kelsey Plum is a fantastic player. she was really off today. Really, really off today. She finished with 8 points, 4 of 17 from the field. She did get 5 assists, which is cool, but she also got 4 turnovers as well, 2 steals in that game. Jackie Young, I thought she played fine. I thought Jackie Young was in her bag, and she did what she needed to do. She had 17 points in this one, 6 of 11 from the field. 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers. Chelsea Gray, she still isn't back. She's still not back to where she used to be. She had 7 points in this one, 5 assists, three turnovers. She's just not there yet. As you all know, she returned from her injury, and I still don't think she's up to speed just yet. But she'll ultimately be fine, I think. Kia Stokes, 0 points for this game. She normally doesn't score. She normally doesn't score for the Las Vegas Aces, so not the biggest of deals, I would say. But normally the Aces would be to rely on Alicia Clark off the bench. Alicia was inefficient in terms of scoring. She didn't have any points in this one. She only took 1 field goal, so keep that in mind as well. But for me, this game was about Asia and the bench. And we saw Tiffany Hayes come in the game, and Tiffany Hayes played very well. She finished with 19 points in this one. She was taking it to the paint. She was shooting 3-pointers. Tiffany Hayes was just trying her best to do a little bit of everything for this Las Vegas Aces team. Again, 19 points in this one. Also, a player that I thought was fantastic in this game is Sydney Colson. Sydney Colson finished the game with 3 points in 6 minutes. And if you are like, what's the big deal? She had 3 points in 6 minutes? That's nothing. Like, who cares? Like, that's not impressive at all. But guys, it's about actually watching games and not just looking at the box score. I truly believe that Sydney Colson, when she came in the game, she turned the game around. She absolutely turned the game around for the Las Vegas Aces because I want to actually talk that through with you all. Okay, so Sydney Colson comes in the game with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the third quarter. All right, the score is 63. Or I should say, the score is 64 Chicago, 52 Las Vegas. Sydney Colson comes in the game and she plays defense. And as JJ said, Sydney shifted the energy. She shifted the energy for the Las Vegas Aces, and she was phenomenal. It's weird to sort of talk about like how good she was and the fact that she only played 6 minutes, because I think she should have played way more than 6. So Sydney Colson comes in the game, plays good defense, gets to the free throw line, scores a bucket. We go into the fourth quarter. That was the third quarter. All right. We go into the fourth quarter, and this is where Sydney Colson really starts to shine, because at that time, the Las Vegas Aces are starting to get stops. They're starting to get stops, and the Aces start to score. There was a sequence of plays in that fourth quarter where Dana Evans was trying to pass the ball. Sydney Colson read the pass, steals it, takes it down the court. The first one, Sydney Colson steals it, gets the ball to Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum, easy 2-point shot. Score. All right. Chicago gets the ball again. Dana Evans, dribble. She tries to pass the ball. I think she was trying to I think in this case she was trying to pass this she was trying to pass it to Michaela, I think. Sydney reads the pass, gets the steal, comes down, and ends up getting fouled. She gets the steal. Dana Evans wraps her up. To me, it should have been called a transition take foul. It was not called a transition take foul. But Sydney Colson goes to the line. She makes both free throws, and eventually she ends up going back out of the game. But at the time, Sydney Colson, she tied up the game in that fourth quarter. She tied it up 69-69. And at that point, the Aces hadn't had the lead all game. They hadn't had the lead. They didn't have the momentum until Sydney Colson came in the game. And when she came in the game, it was like a switch flipped, because It was about starting on the defense and letting that lead to your offense. And to me, Sydney Colson should have played way more minutes, especially in that fourth quarter. I thought she was fantastic in this game. I really did. And guys, again, you have to watch the game. You have to watch the game to know, to really see the impact. Because just reading the box score does not tell the full story. It really doesn't. It really doesn't tell the full story of what Sydney Colson really did to shift the atmosphere. She really did shift the atmosphere for the Las Vegas Aces and get them in a position where they could get back in it and possibly win the game. But ultimately, they did end up not winning because Kennedy Carter was her and made stuff happen. So that was the game. The Chicago Sky defeat the Las Vegas Aces 93-85. Now, guys, this was not the only game that was happening. So I want to let you all know about some of the other games that happened today. We saw the Las Vegas. Nope. Las Vegas just lost. We saw the New York Liberty take on the Connecticut Sun. Now, this game was in New York. And this was a pretty good matchup. This is a good matchup between two really, really good teams. But at the end of the day, the best team in the league right now stays the best team in the league. The New York Liberty won 82-74, defeating the Connecticut Sun. Now, this game was a good game, but this was a game that was controlled. That was largely, I would say, controlled by the New York Liberty throughout. And I have to say, guys, this is a player that I keep talking about, and I will continue to talk about this season, is Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina Ionescu was flat out phenomenal today. She was flat out phenomenal. She scored 30 points in this game, 7 of 14 from the field. Got to the free throw line quite a bit in this game. And she, it's her 6th career regular season game with 30 points, 5+ assists, 5+ rebounds, and 5+ made 3-pointers. Sabrina Ionescu is a player who, yes, she can shoot 3-pointers. She was 6 of 11 from 3-point, right? But it's the other stuff that she's able to do. She has a toughness to her that I don't think existed last year. I don't think it existed at all last year. And it was very much fun to see. It was very, very fun. It's very fun to see her ball out this season. I think she really has impressed a whole lot more people because she's more than just a 3-point shooter. Though she did, that was her bread and butter today, her 3-point shooting. But she's way more than that, and I just really enjoy seeing that from her. Again, 30 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds for Sabrina Ionescu. Though I should say that she did have 7 turnovers in this game. For the rest of the New York Liberty, I mean, they didn't do that great. Brianna Stewart was resting today, so she did not play. She was not injured. She just was resting. Jonquil Jones didn't have that great of a game, but it was fine because the New York Liberty had Sabrina Ionescu. And that's the tough part for the New York Liberty because they have so many good players, but they don't have to have great games in order for the Liberty to win. Courtney played okay. Jonquil Jones played okay. You had Leonie Febich in the starting lineup again. You had Kennedy Burke in the starting lineup again. And the New York Liberty still find a way to win. For the Connecticut Sun, they really have to. I think they're really gonna have to work on some stuff during the break because they came out of the season sort of having a very, very strong start, to the season, and then we started to see them slowly whittle away. We're seeing bad decisions made on offense, and we're actually seeing a team that is known for their defense not be as tough of a defensive team as we once thought. Now, where in the past the Connecticut Sun was the best defensive team in the league, now the best defensive team is the Minnesota Lynx. And the Connecticut Sun, they have to rely more on their scoring, and that's something that they don't have. They were atrocious from the 3-point line today, and that's something they need to improve on. So not a good game at all for the Connecticut Sun, but they got to get it together. But the best team won, in my opinion, and that was the New York Liberty. So shout out to the New York Liberty for defeating the Connecticut Sun. Again, the score was 82 Liberty, 74 Connecticut Sun. Next game is the Seattle Storm. So the Seattle Storm, they take down the LA Sparks. Now, guys, we had two homecoming games. We had two homecoming games in this one. We had two homecoming games today. We saw Neka finally make her return to Los Angeles. So Neka Agumake, if you don't know, she has spent her entire career in Los Angeles with the Sparks. She made the decision in free agency this past off season. She made the decision to leave LA and go over to the Seattle Storm. And this was her first game back in LA. It was pretty cool. They honored her. They really, I thought they really did a good job honoring what she did for the LA Sparks. She helped them get a championship. She really was for years like the most impactful player for the LA Sparks, and it was cool to see her get her just due coming back home to play in LA. So that was kind of cool to see Neka make her return, and Neka played well. Neka played well in this game. She ultimately finished the game with 23 points, 10 rebounds, a whopping 6 steals, and 4 assists in this game. I thought she played fantastic. Again, when we talk about this Seattle Storm team, the thing that makes them so troubling is the fact that they have a boatload of scorers. They have a boatload of scorers that can make some stuff happen. You have Neka Agumake. You have Skylar Diggins-Smith. You have Jewel Lloyd. You have Ezzy Magmagor. And in today's game, similar to the New York Liberty, you don't have to have all those stars play well. They don't have to. Skylar Diggins-Smith had a bad game. She did. She couldn't shoot nothing. Like she was so off on her shot today. She was so off. But it didn't matter because you had Neka Agumake, who did her thing again, 23 points, 6 steals, 4 assists, 10 rebounds. You had her doing her thing, and you also had Jewel Lloyd doing her thing as well. Jewel finished with 30 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. She was absolutely fantastic today. Yes, she was turnover heavy. She had 6 turnovers in this game. But I think, again, the thing that makes Seattle so dangerous is the fact that they have options. They have a lot of options where Skylar can play bad, and it's fine. And it's absolutely fine because there's other players who will step up and step out and make some stuff happen. The Seattle Storm, they're a really good team. Now, I do believe that the LA Sparks played well, like very well against them. Very, very well against them. But ultimately, the Storm have way too much firepower. Way, way, way too much firepower. For the LA Sparks, it's the usuals, right? It's the usuals. It's De'Erica Hamby making some stuff happen. It's Rakia Jackson making stuff happen. It's Azurá Stevens, who is back. She was out for injury for a long time. But she is back, and she's showing people what we have been missing out on all season from her. She finished the game with 24 points, 15 rebounds, a double-double for Azurá Stevens. She played well. She played really well in this one. Ray Burrell also was phenomenal. Ray Burrell is a player who, usually, to be honest with you, she doesn't really do that much usually. But I thought Ray Burrell played great. I thought she played really, really, really great in this one. And she has for sure earned herself a lot more minutes. And maybe we might see Ray Burrell in the starting lineup come a month from now when we get back to WNBA play, possibly. DeAndre says Stevens came back balling each game she's played, all while off an injury. Yeah, y'all, and I know up close and personal how great Azurá Stevens is because she was on the Chicago Sky. And she was a really, really good player. She has a lot to offer a team. Let's see what else comments y'all have to say. Sweet Home Bama said Jewel Lloyd is the truth. DeAndre also said Burrell had a career high in threes. Yep. She was really, really, really good. FM said, "Watch your mouth, Quita." Skylar Diggins-Smith played great. Her shot was really bad today. Her shot was really bad today. So that's what I'm saying. She was very, very, very inefficient today. Very inefficient. But that's fine because you have other scorers on this team. That's my point. She doesn't have to score a bunch because you have Neka. You have Jewel Lloyd. You have Jordan Horston, who continues to play great basketball. I've always been a Jordan Horston fan, but it's just my appreciation to what Jordan Horston gives every single day. It just increases every single game because she's in her bag. Like she plays within herself. Like she does not try to be something that she's not. And I love that. I think there's a lot of players who sometimes they're just like, I just gotta score. I just gotta do some crazy stuff. I gotta do some crazy passes and shoot shots that's not my normal shot. No, Jordan Horston stays in her bag. She stays in her lane, and she gets the job done. And I thought she played really well today. But she's been playing like this ever since she got in the starting rotation for the Seattle Storm. 14 points for Jordan, 8 rebounds. I thought she played really well. Really, really, really well. Shout out to Chicago Sky Central. But yeah, absolutely. Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, Chicago Sky Central says, Skylar Diggins-Smith has her moments, not scoring well, but they have so much talent there, they can still be effective as a team. Absolutely. Yes. That's exactly my point there. That is exactly my point. But I will say, don't sleep on the LA Sparks. Do not sleep on the LA Sparks because they have pieces. They have a lot of pieces. Hamby, now that as a Rays back, you got her. You got Rakia Jackson, who continues to do well. If Caitlin and Angel didn't already kind of have it be a two-way matchup for the Rookie of the Year, Rakia Jackson would definitely be in that conversation because she is playing well, really, really well. She had 16 points in this game, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. So good game. And again, this game was a camp game. So it was a return for Neka Agumake to play against her former team, the team that she's played for her entire career besides this season. And she goes to LA, gets the dub in front of Lisa Leslie, who was there, which is it's always kind of cool to see the legend that is Lisa Leslie at a game. So shout out to Lisa. Guys, final game I want to talk about real quick is the Phoenix Mercury. The Phoenix Mercury took down the Washington Mystics. The score was 96-87. Now, guys, about this game, here's the thing. Where I said Neka was returning to LA for a homecoming game for her. Natasha Cloud was returning for a homecoming game against the Washington Mystics. Now, guys, if you don't know about Natasha Cloud, she played for the Washington Mystics for a long time, right? That's where she came from. You know, she came from the Washington Mystics and went over to the Phoenix Mercury. She has spent so many years in Washington. The thing I loved, similar to what LA did, the Washington Mystics did a really, really good job recognizing and honoring Natasha Cloud because Natasha Cloud really has been like the key player, the key player for the Washington Mystics. It was her. And it was Elena Deladon for years doing a thing. And Natasha Cloud left, goes over to Phoenix, and on her first game back in Washington, they honor her. You know, the crowd looks like the crowd was doing like a standing ovation for her. They made an awesome video, just really awesome stuff. Shout out to them for honoring, you know, a talent that spent a lot of years at your program. won a championship, all that good stuff. But she comes into Washington and hands her former team a big ol' L. The Washington Mystics lose to the Phoenix Mercury 96-87. Now, this game was a really good game. And I will say this. The Washington Mystics are they are. They're towards the bottom of the league, but they are a good team. And the thing that makes that is giving the Washington Mystics the record that they have is injuries. Injuries. You have Jakia Brown-Turner out. You have Dede Richards out. You have Carly Samuelson out. You have Brittany Sykes out. You have Shakira Austin out. So many players for the Washington Mystics are out. And, for Brittany Sykes and Shakira Austin, they're a huge part of the offense. They're a huge part of the offense and defense for the team. And not having them is just a huge loss. But I will say, everybody else for the Washington Mystics have been stepping up. Absolutely. Maisha Hines-Allen is had a double-double today. Continuing to make some stuff happen. Julie Van Loo is a player who I've been very impressed with. Just another player who just played overseas in Europe and has come to the WNBA and is balling. She had 17 points in this one. Shitori Walker-Kimbrough doing well. Also, Ariel Atkins. Also, like the Washington Mystics, I think they played about as good of basketball as they possibly could have. It's just that Steph Dolson was not as efficient on her three-point shooting. And they just kind of struggled to make some stuff happen against the Phoenix Mercury. Though, they did out-rebound the Phoenix Mercury, which is rare to do, to out-rebound Brittany Griner. But speaking of Brittany Griner, she had a really good game today. She ultimately finishes the game with 23 points, 7 rebounds, just 1 block, I should add. But Brittany Griner is Brittany Griner. She's going to miss some shots that she should make. But ultimately, she's super tall. so I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you got a 6'9" girl running down the court. It's hard to stop her. It's hard to stop her if you just got Stephanie Dolson. It's hard to stop a player like a Brittany Griner. So, in general, yes, there were shots that Brittany Griner was missing. I was like, come on, girl, you know you could make that. But ultimately, she does finish with 23 points in this one, 9 of 17 from the field. Dinah Taurasi played well, also 18 points in this game. Natasha Cloud, again, as I said earlier, guys, this was her homecoming game. This was the homecoming game for Natasha Cloud, and I thought she played well. She had a double-double in this one. Natasha Cloud, when you think about Natasha Cloud, yes, she can score. But the first thing you think about when you think about Natasha Cloud is her passing. And she was on one today. She had 10 assists in this game, only 1 turnover. Now, guys, yes, point guards get a lot of turnovers usually. But Natasha Cloud is an extremely skilled passer. Extremely skilled. Like, she has vision for days. She can see the play. She can see it before it happens. How exactly she needs to get the ball to the player she needs to get it to. Getting it to them in rhythm so that they can just get a shot off. She is just one of the most fantastic point guards in the WNBA. And when we talk about point guards, I don't think she gets the credit that she deserves because of how great she really is. I think it's because she spent so much time in Washington, and I think a lot of times people have slept on the Washington Mystics, and have not recognized the talent that they have on their squad. And I think now that she's with Phoenix, I think a lot more people are seeing Natasha Cloud and seeing what she can do, which is pretty awesome. She almost had a triple-double in this game. She was very, very close in this one. Only 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. 12 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds, 1 turnover for Natasha Cloud. Elite. Now, guys, that is your recap of the various games that happened today. Guys, there were 4 games that happened today. I did a bit of a deeper dive into the Chicago Sky game and Chicago Sky Las Vegas Aces game, but hopefully I gave you all a good look at all the other games that happened. Again, with Camp Day games, it kind of runs the gamut. So, in terms of being able to watch those games. So, in case you missed those games, that is your recap. Hope you all are informed now about what happened. But some homecoming games for Natasha Cloud, for Neka Agumake, and they go to their former home, and that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate this, guys. If you all could please do me a huge favor and hit that like button. That really does help YouTube send more people to the channel. Again, hit that like button. That would be really awesome. Also, guys, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I make content all about women's basketball. So if that is your thing, if you all are interested in women's basketball, I would love for you all to subscribe to the channel. I am on my road to 20,000 subscribers. That is the goal. My goal was to get there before All-Star break, but All-Star break is here. So so I guess I won't get there then. But I do thank you all so much for 18,000 subscribers. I just passed 18,000 subscribers, and I really do appreciate that so much. It truly means a lot that you all rock with me, that you all are a part of the awesome people of the internet community. I really do appreciate that so much. Guys, if you all want some awesome merch, y'all can get that at quitalovesports.com. Once again, that is quitalovesports.com. I am wearing one of my shirts right here. It's a badge right here that says awesome person of the internet. And on the back, it says for the love of the game. So if y'all want to get some merch, y'all can do that. It really does go a long way to help the channel out. Thank you so much to all of the folks on Patreon who are actively supporting this channel every single month. If you all want to do that, y'all can do that at patreon.com/Quita Loves Sports. Guys, I do this because I love women's basketball. That's why I watch all these games. That's why I take notes as the games are happening. Sometimes that's why I love to do these recaps. I love the game of women's basketball, and I just want to share my love with you all because you all are freaking amazing. That's why you all are the awesome people of the internet. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, sub, get some merch if you want. Go to my communities tab so you can participate in the awesome people of the internet mid-season awards show. So make sure to participate in that. Guys, again, I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. Guys, please tell somebody that they matter. Show somebody that they matter because they do. Every single person on this planet matters. And I think it's important for us to spread the love and spread joy because there's a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of horribleness out there. And I think it's up to us to be the people we want to see in the world. So I ask that you show somebody that they matter because they do. Until next time, guys, I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful evening. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.